like put in a tree or something, or put in a safe place. I'm thinking of a client I spoke to recently who felt like she was in India. And she could describe this whole town, and she went on the internet. She discovered the town, the village rather, because it was a small village, and she was shocked, and she could spell everything, and she could pronounce everything. And I said, because you have been there before in other lifetimes, and that's where you're going to be in your next lifetime, and you are going to be a school teacher. She said, I was with a bunch of children. I said, you're going to be a school teacher, and you are going to have to learn how to deal with these children, because many of the children that you will have spoken to have lost parents, have been abused, and so you are being given insight into how to best address them. And I said, I would suggest that you take a course in child psychology, just to get things started so that you know how to help troubled individuals. She said, that is fascinating, because I contacted USF, and I've been contacting the different schools to see what kind of programs they have. So that was very helpful to her. But sometimes it's angelic presence, and this is what it was. Sometimes it's UFO presence, and there's almost no way to determine unless your intuition is telling you. So it could be...
I felt that it was.
Felt angelic or UFO?
A UFO.
Okay.
And almost like they were testing my energy.
Right.
And I felt like I had to send them a beam back to let them know not to... It felt pesky. And I just sent them a beam not to bother me.
So, in other words, they wanted to take you somewhere and you didn't want to go.
Or it was, yes, or they were just saying what I was about. It was almost like they were kind of exploring, if you will.
Well, first of all, I see what you're saying. They weren't exploring your soul because their abilities enable them to see your soul and to know everything that's going on. I'm feeling they wanted to take you to a place that you may not have been thrilled to go. And you knew that subconsciously, and that's why you didn't want to go. But since they came, and since they wanted to show you what they wanted to show you, you are going to have to go, because karmically that's what you're scheduled for. The UFOs that would come for people are vibrating on the level that you are on. So they're not going to take you to a harmful place and drop you there. They're going to take you to a place so you have information. And so you may not like it, but I don't think a doctor likes to work on a patient that's been viciously attacked by a gang. So if you were a doctor, you might be taken someplace where that type of operation is essential so that you get the information on how to handle this patient coming in. Like this client of mine who had this experience and went to India, and she found it on what I was just saying, she found it on the internet, and she had already begun checking into the schools to take these special courses. So I'm feeling that, yes, you do need to go. They're not going to harm you. And UFOs that would be extraordinarily harmful are not permitted in our earthly vibration. I think that's important for me to remember to tell you all. They are vibrating on the level. The planet now is mid-range level. It used to be the highest level, and it demoted itself and devolved into a much lower level, and that was all the religious strife, which we now have again. Talk about karma. The Christians tried to kill off the Islamics tried to kill off the Christians tried to kill off the Islamics, and what's happening now? The Islamics are trying to kill off the Christians. Talk about circling karma. So the ones that are here are on a much higher level, but have a remembrance of what it's like to be on our level. So no one is going to harm you. And if angels take you to an unhappy astral vibration, it's information for you to have, in your case, not because you're headed there, but because you need to know about the suffering of other individuals. And there might be something that you can do to help them. You will never be harmed by UFOs or angel presence. There's a difference, by the way, between angel presence and demonic presence, which you're not bothered with, but some people are. people who have called in dark spirits for help, people who have put curses on others, people who have been involved in any kind of bloodletting, they are open to negative presences. But that's not your case. So, if you felt UFO presence, it probably was. And just be willing to go next time because they have information to give you. Okay?
That feels right. It was a very healing energy. It didn't feel, it felt empowering.
Excellent. See, and that's a nice blessing. And you will be able to help others in a different kind of way with your new experience. Okay. Anything else?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I want to also mention that this idea of blowing up the planet and blowing up New York City and blowing up Chicago is nonsense. If they were going to wipe out a species of people because they're vicious and they are not evolving spiritually, they would simply send a sound frequency. Everything responds to sound. You hear the planes when they break the sound barrier. If you're watching the shows on Nova and other programs that deal with astronomy and astrology and what's happening out in the earth, there was a great one yesterday that talks about the sounds in the universe, and most of them originate from vibrations, and most of them originate by collisions. And so what you're hearing is sound grouping together, heading towards us, and colliding, and that's what we are hearing. So they would send a sound. Remember Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where they're all gathered on this mountain peak out west, and they've got this big machine, boom, 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 boom. They would send a sound vibration that would affect those people only. Those people with nuclear weapons. Those people who are looking to blow up the world. Those people who are looking to conquer the world. That's who would be affected. Or people who have a certain disease that's highly contagious and they're running around to try to contaminate everybody purposefully. We find that with AIDS prostitutes at times, and also men who get AIDS from prostitutes. Lawsuits are always won generally when someone has AIDS and they know it and they don't inform their partners because they're trying to wipe people out. That's absolutely wrong. If you have an illness, it is your karma and it is yours to deal with. You don't run around punishing everybody else because things have gone bad for you. We can do without you on this planet if that's how you behave, if that's your mindset. We'd be very happy to do without you. So we would have more positive vibrations, more positive energy, and things would be a lot more pleasant. Now we're going to take a short break. This is Metaphysically Speaking and Linda Bennett, and we will be right back with you.